Aldis is in the back with Jordynne Grace, and he is trying to recruit Jordynne for SmackDown. And this was the first of several segments with Jordynne Grace on the show, who you can add to the list of being part of the NXT promotional class that are coming to the main roster. So they are just stripping NXT.
Interesting to see them like essentially do something very different this year, where like it seems like we're gonna get an influx of NXT call-ups like in January, like pre-Rumble. So we'll see how that plays out. I mean, I hope that it's relatively well thought out. What does it mean for NXT to be like decimated for, come January? But
I'm less concerned about NXT. Like they should be constantly in this cycle of like you shouldn't be here super long.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, they stack up. They did this last year. Like, they stack up SmackDown in particular because it's getting the extra hour. The problem is, come June, it goes back to 2 hours. And then, like, where are all these people going to be? And we've,
that's a problem for the future. Okay.
Well, that's it. But then we're also signing people as well, as we will get to in our next match. Because
then you don't hear from them for half the year, much like the tag division on SmackDown.
I had my flashlight out. Did not spot Mr. Shelley or Mr. Sabin on this 3-hour SmackDown. I thought,
where are the Street Profits? Where have they been?
They're in the abyss somewhere. Okay, they don't bench people.
Hanging out with Abyss in the back.
They might be. Yes.
Jordynne Grace has a call up. What do you think?
I mean, I figured like she came in at probably like a pretty good deal, and I didn't see her being long in NXT. I wouldn't say the NXT run was all that memorable that she had.
I don't know what she really gained in NXT, to be honest. Like when she made that debut at the Rumble, you can argue she was already ready.
It's like she did the feud with Blake Monroe, and then they were kind of just starting like this. Like they were kind of teasing this heel turn, like she was eventually going to turn on Thea Hale, but it doesn't feel like they're going to. It looks like they're just, it felt like they were just starting something with Thea Hale, and they're just moving on from that if she's getting the call up now.
Yeah, if the idea is to just bring up new talent from NXT to help SmackDown, I would have made the argument that she was probably needed like 6 months ago, because this show has such a at least poorly booked. I'm not necessarily going to say just like weak talent wise, but a very poorly booked tag division that surrounding, me, Chin, B-Fab, all this stuff. Like that could have really used Jordynne Grace throughout all that time. So I think she's sorely needed. I imagine she'll stay on SmackDown.
Kathy Kelly interviews Jade Cargill, and Jordynne Grace walks in, wanting to get a good look at all of her options. And Jade warns her, "This is my show, and I'm that bitch."
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, this seems to pretty well signal that Grace is going to be here, at least to me. Although Jade did the same thing, for pretty much everybody on the show.
It would seem like, just based on the call-ups, it would seem like Javon is going to Raw. We know Trick is on SmackDown.
Yep.
I'm still curious about Sol Ruka. I think
NXT needs her, actually, but you're right. She's probably on the radar too. Yeah, but I think this was a good look at a potential matchup that you'd be seeing pretty much right away here between Jordynne Grace and Jade Cargill. Yeah,
this is the one bright spot. Okay, of these 3-hour SmackDowns, Kit Wilson, he cuts a promo on the toxic sports fans in Buffalo, or of the 3, how Bill's Mafia is toxic, 4, and then he is confronted by his opponent. Is that Zack Ryder? No, folks. He comes out and his graphics that read Zack Ryder go to black and then are rechristened Matt Cardona. And then Michael Cole has to bring attention to this. Wait a minute. Did you see? He went from Zack Ryder to Matt Cardona. It's in what logic in the world of this company does this, this could have been a nice little subtlety that you catch on. I can see what's happening here, but to have the lead announcer then explain this to me, please tell me, how is he 2 different people here? Explain the in storyline, what this was within the context of this program.
I mean, wrestlers just have many names. I think
That was my nickname. That's what my friends called me, Zack Ryder.
we've come to accept that, have we not? I mean, somebody could be like Ron Killings at one point, and then R-Truth the next.
But these are two very clear, like, government names is what it feels like, as opposed to, like, R-Truth. I was like,
Are
okay,
you
there's
at least with Truth? We had a promo justifying it. Are you suggesting like
this. We just got the graphics changed, and he's Matt Cardona. And they also announced he is now officially part of the SmackDown roster.
the simple answer is
Because
okay, but also like Zack Ryder, I think this is just my headcanon about maybe their justification for it. Zack Ryder was very much like a like a comedic low card guy. Maybe they feel like Cardona's done a great enough job outside of the WWE rebranding himself to make himself feel like a more serious persona. That is like I do ask, because not
they did not feel that way a month ago when he lost to in the Cena tournament.
It's a good question, but like they don't allow just anybody to come in with their actual names,
No.
So I wonder if like what sort of bargaining chip he might have had, or if they just saw value in having Matt Cardona instead of
I don't know
Zack
if all those interviews he did gave him a ton of bargaining power.
Ryder. You're right. This guy's wanted to come back, like I don't know, since the moment he left. Like it's like
That scene in Seinfeld when like Kramer's like meeting with them and they offer him like the first he's like, deal.
yeah.
Like I feel that's how the negotiations might have gone.
Yeah.
But hey, he got his name. Credit to him here. Now, all those aside, listen, there's a lot of people there, fans of Matt Cardona. Like this to me is one where when we are looking at this, like this is a roster that it's crowded at the best of times. And yes, we are getting this extra hour here. But there are all these call-ups at this point. Like, where is Matt Cardona going to be in 6 months? Like, I don't think you're signing a guy with the intent that this guy is going to be like a main event level talent. I would think your absolute ceiling would be something approximating an LA Knight. To me, that would be your best case scenario for a Matt Cardona. But do you like this signing? Like, does in the overall like roster construction that they are making, and at a time when you are introducing all these other younger stars?
So we know this is a very creative person. Obviously, we know this is a person who has the ability to like get over on his own. I think what he did coming off of the WWE really is quite remarkable. His ability to rebrand himself as the king of the indies like was terrific, really, for a time. And coming back to the WWE, I don't know if like what the appeal is, because I think the appeal of having a Matt Cardona in GCW was that you had such a WWE guy wrestling WWE style, looking like a typical WWE Ken doll type of character in a GCW, right? That's why it worked so well. In the WWE, he just looks like a generic WWE guy, right? So what exactly is going to be the twist of this particular character that might make things interesting? On the surface, if we're just getting like, I don't know, another Zack Ryder retread, that to me does not interest me at all. The interest to me would be to see what he could do with Chelsea Green if he gets paired up with her. And I thought that role might have been for Ethan Page, getting called up. I mean, I feel like Cardona Green probably makes a bit more sense at this point. So I think
I'll say this after watching that guy for the past year, if there's a guy that has earned himself a main roster spot, it is Ethan Page. I think that guy's been one of the most like under, I wouldn't even say underrated, but like it is like that guy has made the most of this transition to NXT. He was not looked upon as like the sexiest pickup of ex AEW talent. And man, he's just done a terrific job. And I would say he has outgrown NXT and by extension, like AAA, but he's someone they clearly have a lot of confidence in just looking at all the roles they have put him in.
100%. And when I mentioned like, okay, not to say like he should be like in a Miz role, but even somebody in a Miz role like could be taken by somebody like an Ethan Page. Not to say he should be in that position. He should be poked a lot stronger coming in. But maybe his destination is Raw. Maybe. But for Cardona, getting back to that, I see his ultimate destination doing something with Chelsea, and I think like that could be entertaining, interesting.
Maybe
No?
they'll be on opposite sides of a mixed nuts tag.
That tends to be not that unusual these days.
Throughout the month of January, you have the chance to lock in your subscription at the Post Wrestling Cafe for all of 2026 before the price increase takes effect February the 1st. Simply sign up before February 1st and you will lock in that price all year long. If that's not enough, this month we have the annual Best and Worst of show as we get together with the Poison Rana crew to look back at 2025. We're also doing live watch-alongs of the Royal Rumbles from 1990 and 1995 with Brandon from New Jersey, a retrospective on the Tanahashi-Okada rivalry, plus reaction to Wrestle Kingdom 20, a review of TNA's debut on AMC, and much more, including TNA Genesis, UFC 324. It's all found at postwrestlingcafe.com. And then he is interrupted by Trick Williams, who comes out and gets a hell of a reaction from this crowd in Buffalo. They're all chanting, "Whoop that Trick." This guy came out looking like a superstar and then cut a hell of a promo. He said that he is what happens when you get Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson, and Michael Jackson in the same place at the same time.
Tyson, Jordan, Jackson.
That'd be quite the round table. He is told, he said that SmackDown needs Trick Williams. They need someone who looks like a champion, and that's why I'm here. And said, "I am not like you, Sammy. I'm not someone who can almost get the job done." And Zayn explains, "You're right, but you have never been humbled. And you're not the first guy to just show up and thinking that you have the look and that you have all the tools. You are going to be taught what it is to be humbled." And I've got to say, I thought Trick was just outstanding here in this segment. He is part of SmackDown, and Sami Zayn is adding his name as well, going for Cody's championship at some point.
Yeah, I thought Trick said it amazing. He looked amazing, you know.
Oh,
and
man.
If you're going to point to the effectiveness of the PC as a developmental system, I think Trick is really a perfect example of somebody who just, has certainly gained a character, gained a lot of confidence, gained a lot of ability. You can argue gained a lot of in-ring ability in that time since we first started watching him. And you can certainly also say he's gained a lot of value just from maybe the buzz surrounding him and his name. Even for people who may have never seen, a second of NXT before. Like, by the moment he enters the arena here in a main roster call up proper, he's already seen as a star. He's already seen as a big deal. So, I also found this introduction incredibly interesting because, the contrast is certainly there, If the idea was to showcase how charismatic and spectacular Trick is, the job was certainly accomplished by positioning him right opposite a guy who couldn't look more normal and look more average.
Even by Sami Zayn standards, like, this guy was able to dress down for this role.
Yeah, like is he not exactly like I dress like this basically like every day. So I found this contrast incredibly interesting, and it kind of highlights how plain Sami Zayn is. And I'm stumped as to whether or not like that was like by design as a positive or a negative thing, because to some it's bad. Okay, you want your stars to look like a Trick Williams, as he said in his promo, but then to others, Zayn is a way more relatable and therefore easy to cheer for like person than somebody like a Trick Williams. So I guess my question is, like, was this segment designed to actually give Sammy a push coming off of this interaction, or is he just here to make Trick look good? Are they going to actually have a match, or was this just a little segment to preview Trick Williams?
Yeah, I would certainly not want to be beating Trick Williams right out of the gate for that very reason. Again, like, you're just like, I would want Sammy strong for those shows at the end of the month, and I'm sure they are thinking that too. But yeah, obviously this is something you're teasing towards. You could do a match between them and not necessarily do a finish, but like, you don't have all the time in the world. Like, these shows are coming up really quick. So like, I would think by this time next week, we should have at least have stuff set up for Saturday night's main event, if not starting to build up the Rumble.